accused the right of in scamming the system in higher education.
No, that's exactly right. As much as they go after the president and his family and they try to talk about nepotism and easy going, look at all of the stuff that has come out about this story. I read an article last night, Jesse, that was discussing how Aunt Becky, Lori Loughlin, which I'm still just, rocked by this, her daughter, one of her youngest daughter that was going to USC, apparently her grade point average was below their lowest level acceptance. Like, she didn't even academically qualify to get into USC, but yet they were making these exceptions for her. And she was saying, well, I don't really care about school. I just want to go and party and go to the games. And I'm thinking, how many hardworking students out there have sacrificed so much so that they could get into this school, and you're just skating in and you're not even academically qualified to go there. These are our moral betters, Jesse. Right. Remember, these are the people that went out there with the Vote for Hillary stickers, and they were deriding all of us as being racist bigots because we were considering something different than Hillary Clinton back in 2016. And now look where it's gotten them. They are as entitled or more entitled than the people that they always accuse of entitlement. So I'm just kind of sitting back and watching this happen. My only concern, though, and this is sort of selfish, is how this is going to affect Full House and Hallmark. Like, who's going to save the Snow Globe Factory if Lori Loughlin isn't in a particular role in Hallmark, because they've dropped her, Netflix has dropped her, Sephora has now dropped her daughter. There's apparently going to be a lot more coming out. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
So
don't you dare mess with the Full House repeats. That would just be an absolute tragedy. Lastly, I just wanted to get your opinion on the shooting out in New Zealand. It's now being blamed on conservatives. It's being blamed on Donald Trump. I just remember when the Bernie bro shot up Steve Scalise at the baseball game. The media was very, very, very into separating Bernie from any culpability. And even conservatives on this network say, you cannot blame a politician or a network host for some action from a crazy person, yet they're doing it here. I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, they are doing it here. Two things on this. Evil doesn't have a particular look. It doesn't have a particular type. Evil is real, though, and we saw it in Christchurch. Absolutely horrific. And the second thing about this is this monster purposefully mentioned things in his ridiculous troll diatribe, which I would encourage people to just ignore, because he's trying to draw everyone into this giant race war. He's trolling everyone. He mentions people to try to incite further violence and pit people against each other. This guy was a terrorist. No one should ever be afraid in a house of worship. And for people to try to pin this on conservatives or the president of the United States, you just mentioned the murderer who was working with Bernie Sanders on his campaign. Like I said, evil's real. It exists everywhere. And by playing into that blame game, you're doing exactly what this terrorist wants. You're finishing his job for him.
You're right. All right. Dana Lash, everybody. There she is. Thanks for coming on Water's World.
Good to see you, Jesse.
Beto O'Rourke and his crazy hands are running for president. And Nancy Pelosi in a pickle over impeachment. That's next.
Said, hey, honey, take a walk on the wild side.
This program is brought to you by Principal, Investments, Retirement, Insurance.
I think I found my dream car.
It turns out they want me to start next month. She can stay with you to finish her senior year.
Things will be tight, but we can make this work.
Now.
Grandpa, what about your dream car?
Oh, this is my dream now.
Principal, we can help you plan for that.
Hey, we need to conference you in now.
Alan, is that you?
You know who it is. What?
Alan.
Yeah.
Reception.
That's the noise you're making with your mouth.
You need to enunciate. I can't hear you.
I know you can hear me. You owe me.
With XT4 technology, make your escape, whatever it takes. Rise above with XT4 and the uncompromising Cadillac SUVs.
My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish, but now I take Metamucil every day. It traps and removes the waste that weighs me down, so I feel lighter. Try Metamucil and begin to feel what lighter feels like.
a great day. We got football, baby.
You spoke my language right there.
We've got celebrity guests one after the other.
Hey.
What a way to start the day.
It's incredible.
Oh.
That's why we're the best.
Let's be honest. You need insurance, but it's not really something you want to buy. It's not sexy.
Oh, delicious.
Or delicious.
Or fun.
But since you need both car and home insurance, why not bundle them with Esurance and save up to 10%, which you can spend on things you really want to buy, like, well, I don't know what you'd want to buy because I'm just a guy on your TV. Esurance. It's surprisingly painless.
Call 1-800-SANDALS.
My mom washes the dishes before she puts them in the dishwasher. So what does the dishwasher do?
Cascade Platinum does the work for you. Pre-washing and removing stuck-on foods the first time.
Wow, that's clean.
Cascade Platinum.
Hey guys, if you're experiencing erectile dysfunction, you can now get treated anywhere. Like here, 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 even here. Okay, maybe not there. That's why we built Roman. So it's easy to get ED meds prescribed online, delivered to your door. Just visit GetRoman.com, chat with a U.S. licensed physician, and you'll get FDA-approved medication delivered in discreet packaging. Roman, let's take care of it. Get started with your free online visit at GetRoman.com/TV.
Sophia may have only slept 3 hours last night and just retrieved her smartphone from the goldfish bowl, but with Home Chef, she's about to make the heck out of dinner. Look at her, seasoning this chicken to utter perfection by tearing the leaves off a tiny sprig of thyme and throwing them into a pan. How dare those leaves have so much flavor? They're tiny. And wait, adding the zest of a lemon? Like some sort of carefree person with nothing but time? Home Chef, easy and delicious meal kits. Get $30 off your first order.
Beto O'Rourke officially throwing his hat into the ring for a 2020 presidential run. But it's his hands that are garnering the most attention. Watch this.
There's going to be massive migration of tens or hundreds of millions of people from countries that are literally uninhabitable or underwater, that are above the sea right now. This is our final chance. The scientists are absolutely unanimous on this, that we have no more than 12 years to take incredibly bold action on this crisis.
President Trump sizing him up this way.
I think he's got a lot of hand movement. I've never seen so much hand movement. I said, is he crazy or is that just the way he acts? So I've never seen hand movement. I watched him a little while this morning doing, I assume it was some kind of a news conference. And I've actually never seen anything quite like it. Study it. I'm sure you'll agree.
No word on the nickname yet, but I'm sure it is only a matter of time. Joining me now, Wisconsin Congressman Sean Duffy and the host of the Michael Knowles Show, Michael Knowles. All right, Congressman, the hands this way, this way. I think it's mesmerizing. I'm not listening to a word he's saying. I'm just looking at the hands.
I got to tell you, Jesse, as a hand speaker myself, I'm a little sensitive to that. But I got to tell you what, leave it to Donald Trump to be a guy who pulls out some weird quirk within a candidate who's challenging him and absolutely destroy him. I think what the media wants to do here, Jesse, is they want to create an empty vessel like they did Barack Obama and craft this unique character. Donald Trump didn't exist in 2008 in politics. He is going to destroy whatever they create in Beto O'Rourke.
He's even emptier than Barack Obama, if that's saying anything. And Michael, the president needs to be careful he doesn't destroy these candidates too early. He wants to run against Beto. I mean, look what he did to Elizabeth Warren. She's toast now. I bet he probably would have laid off a little bit earlier so she became the nominee. Is there a risk in annihilating these people too early?
Absolutely, and luckily, President Trump can't give Beto O'Rourke a nickname because Beto O'Rourke gave himself a nickname. His real name is Robert Francis. He goes by Beto. So just in the future, I would like to ask that you exclusively refer to me as Pedro. If Robert Francis O'Rourke can go by Beto, then I'd like to play racial identity politics too. Obviously, right now, Beto O'Rourke is trying to play both sides of every question. On the one hand, he says, I am a capitalist. On the other hand, he says the world is going to end in 12 years if we don't implement the Green New Deal, have a whole government takeover of the economy. This is very Obama-esque. It's very Obama-esque that he's never accomplished anything other than be in the government. He is going to have to define himself before one of his opponents or his ultimate opponent, President Trump, defines him for him. And I don't see which way Mr. Holden Caulfield, Beto O'Rourke, writing his whiny teen diaries like Jack Kerouac, is actually going to be able to depict himself.
Well, you mentioned the fact that he says the world's going to end in 12 years. And I remember when the president gave his acceptance speech at the RNC, and he's talked about the carnage in the manufacturing sector and middle America losing jobs and having how depressing that was going to be. And the media all said that was dark. Now flip the switch, and you have a presidential candidate on the other side not talking about people losing jobs, Congressman, talking about people losing